Okay, so we mentioned that through the breakdown, okay, of all the subphases of how to capture consumers, we understood that locally we had a very big problem because of cost of eyeballs. Basically, cost of eyeballs meaning the cost of getting our message through paid social media channels like Facebook, like TikTok, like Instagram, whatever you want that is controlled by others. So that's where we identified very strongly, okay, or identified that there was an area here that was especially interesting, which was the brand pillars and local awareness campaigns. Why? Because internally controlled. There's no external parties that we control. But that's very, okay, this is where a lot of companies or a lot of people fall into the trap of, okay, I can analyze stuff, I can break down numbers, but how am I going to take action? This is where I think I can really, and I have an angle, okay, compared to other people because I'm massively action oriented. And when you look into this, okay, basically we decided, okay, I have experience in branding. I come from Unilever. I'm like, okay, we can build a brand. What did I do? I reached out to some friends and got Vinod Savio, okay, who was the chief director and for creative director for Toaster, which was a local agency, really highly renowned, but relatively local, who's now actually the same position, but in DDDB, okay, one of the major agencies in the world, and convince them because there was a juicy project. How can we elevate the brand to a different level? How can we create awareness in a bunch of campaigns that we had outdoor placements because we took advantage of post-COVID pricing and we built this ad. Okay, I'll show it a little bit, but you can see this is not your traditional ad and that a startup, you know, with scrappy running can do.
Expert dentist by your side, anytime, anywhere.
Okay, there's messaging here. There's an evolution of the brand, and we're trying to connect it to create a different experience. Okay, at the same time, what can you actually control? Also, offline execution. Why? And because it gets much closer to people. This is an orchard, okay, in Singapore, in the center of Singapore. It couldn't be more central, okay. And we developed what you call a smile gym. Well, it was a novel concept. We work also with a very creative agency, very driven by our CEO, Julian. You know, he's like, go. We need to make this different, okay. We need to make this PR event very strong. As you can see here, I was basically pitching. We had an MC that helped me, you know, to make sure that the press, that the message was out there. And we got a bunch of local celebrities to come and help us and drive that message and differentiation. Zenyum is not considered by Singaporeans and by Malaysians and by many other countries where we have a lot of strong presence a standard brand. Absolutely not. You don't have a line of brands doing this kind of covering this kind of range, and this is what made it very interesting. But again, not strategy. I'm a strategy person, but I had to get into action. Why? Because execution is just full of flaws. There's so many complexities. And here is where you can see a little bit the example. This is, okay, who is this? This is me and two colleagues, okay? The girl that you saw on the left at the beginning is actually one of the employees paid to do this, okay? To promote the event, to get people in. And what I was seeing is the numbers weren't coming in at the beginning. The first, we were gonna do 6 weeks, and the first weeks, it wasn't working out. So what did I do? I went there, dressed there, you'll see, okay? I'm gonna turn around now, okay? You'll see, I'm just, okay, running with the team. As you see, this is right post-COVID times, okay? In Singapore, it was very strict. And I'm working with the team on let's demo how the rest of the employees that we're paying, okay, not the employees, the hired contract workers have to do this, okay? I want to record it and I want to show this looks ridiculous, but it attracts attention and brings people's attention, okay? And as you'll see, one of my colleagues here wasn't doing a very motivated job, and I actually tell her like, hey, move more dynamically, okay? There was even a moment here where I was singing smile Jim, come, okay, because we needed to track, and this really helped because we were down on the ground pushing the contract employees, come on, drive. We started to test metric and different commission levels and all this, and this is what makes the difference. You can find a problem. You have to break down, be very analytical, break it down the problem, find the gap, and then execute on it. If you don't know how to execute it, it doesn't really matter what's going to happen. And if you can't collaborate, that's not really going to be that powerful. I hope this is helpful, okay, to see how an end-to-end problem can be solved for a company.